Good morning, big wave trading family. It looks like stocks might start the day off on a bang. As I make this video, overnight futures are up quite a bit, smashing higher, and they've been trending higher all after hours, so it's pretty impressive. I have a lot of long signals again. If this market takes off tomorrow and trends higher throughout the day, we can say that my system definitely caught the start of the uptrend. We'll find out if that's the case. It's still undecided, but right now, after hours, things are looking good for all of those recent long positions we just took. And so let's see if it can't continue. I have multiple long positions really quickly. BA, UCTT, SSNI, SIG, and then JSO are the high quality long signals overall, because they're all CAN-SLIM quality or semi-CAN-SLIM quality, or they will be CAN-SLIM quality, or they used to be CAN-SLIM quality. So let's get it started off there. BA is CAN-SLIM quality stock, and it was also in my perfect speculator scan, my highest, or my one that looks for stocks up at least 75%. I have various perfect speculator scans. BA made one of them, so it's going to qualify. We have a beautiful flat base building out here, candle over candle, price bar, average volume. BOP barely confirming, but with a big stock like this, I really don't care about BOP. It's more the overall pattern. And if you look at the long-term uptrend, if this thing can go and maybe even put in half of this kind of measured move, the small risk that we take to know that we're wrong is quite impressive. Want to get long, limit order 241.17. Your first cut loss level is 234.45. Your next cut loss level is 230.90. And that might be all for everyone, but I might even give this stock more room to run. I think I'm going to put a third here, not think, I know I am. And then I'm going to put a final third right here at 223.02. I don't think this will ever come into play. It's just kind of an emergency one. I just want to give this stock room to potentially work in case it doesn't move right off the bat. In choppy markets, before a stock moves, sometimes they might shake you out a little bit. So by having multiple stops, if it does decide to move higher, I only get shaken out of a little bit. But we'll see what happens. But I want to get long, limit order 241.17. CAN-SLIM perfect speculator. Technically, this is a 4% position since it's not extended from the 20-day moving average. However, I don't want to take more than 2.5% position in any name right now until we do get a follow through day. Now, I'm not going to wait for a follow through day to then start buying stocks, as a signal is a signal is a signal. And in this market, by the time you get a follow through day, it's too late to get fully invested with safe, proper entries where your inherent risk is low compared to the potential reward risk ratio. But once a follow through day happens, I have no problem starting to push bigger size. But for now, 2.5% for BA, but technically it's a 4% signal. UCTT, this one, CAN-SLIM quality. If you look at the earnings and sales growth, it is exploding. And this stock made a perfect speculator scan that I don't go over much, but I started to go over recently because there's so many stocks that look like BA, UCTT, SSNI out there where there's tight consolidation patterns that I want to look at some of these other small names, like look at PIRS. This isn't a perfect speculator scan, but the perfect speculator scan I'm speaking of looks at all stocks that have made a 100% move in the past 52 weeks at any price. Now, normally the perfect speculator scan looks for stocks over 50 a share. I have another scan that tries to get it early by looking at stocks over 40 a share with that previous 100% move. And then I have another side scan of a perfect speculator scan that looks at stocks with at least a 75% move up, at least price $50 or higher. And that's where BA came from. UCTT came from the any price perfect speculator scan, which means the stocks had the previous 100% move. I want to get long UCTT. Limit order 23.34, the high of the day. First cut loss level for me is that low, 21.81, 21.80. Final cut loss level is right here, 20.65. But UCTT, this is a nice little stock, and as you can see with the previous uptrend, absolute huge monster run. And if we get an entry here, this is about as good of a reward risk ratio with low inherent risk setup that you're going to get out of this stock. I tracked UCTT all throughout 2017. This damn thing never touched the 50-day moving average, basically never giving me an entry. Here, the volume to the previous sell-off characteristics, because all the distribution is nowhere near being right. But after a flurry of distribution on this side, it started to base out with below average volume, and now the green bars are starting to become prominent. It's kind of similar to here, but as you can see, higher lows, rounding pattern, definitely with the market starting to turn, has a potential to be a massive runner. So getting long UCTT, once again a 4% signal, but me, only 2.5%. Then there's SSNI, beautiful little move off the support low. Thought about getting long the stock here, but passed on it because it was extended from the 20-day moving average and volume was not higher than the session before. But after more time sideways, as you can see, it's caught up to the 20-day moving average. Very bullish engulfing pattern today. Opening near the lows, closing near the highs. I want to get long SSNI at I'm looking at the wrong number, 1234. My first cut loss is the lows here. Excuse me, I'm so off. I'm sorry. If you see the list that I'm looking at right in the piece of paper, you'd understand why I'm all confused. Want to get long, limit order, 1263, the high of the day. First cut loss level is a move below 1234. The low of the day, 1233, and my final emergency stop is down here at 1153. If this level fails, obviously, just like BA and just like UCTT, any of these new long positions, the first level fails on heavy volume before the second level comes into play. I'll be either raising all or half of my stops. But SSNI, very, very nice pattern. Wanted to get long earlier. Now that I got the get long signal, got to get long. But nice surge in the BOP and volume today with that bullish candle pattern. And then SIG, recent earnings winner, gap up on the better than expected earnings results, started to trend higher, pulled back kind of intraday yesterday, and now a bullish hammer reversal candle pattern on average volume with BOP holding on to max green. This is a great stock, really reducing my loss if I'm wrong here. First cut loss level 59.92, and then with a fill of the gap at 57.60, that will be my final cut loss, 57.60. And then 59.91 it touches will be the first half. But I want to get long at 62.77 because it's extended from the 20-day moving average. So no chasing. But SIG showed up in my CanSlim scam. And with it being an earnings winner, it's good to go. It's no longer CanSlim quality because it used to be. So it's basically just going to give it 1% for being CanSlim and an earnings winner. 2% for being 1% for being CanSlim, 1% for being an earnings winner for 2%, half that making it 1% long position SIG. But it's an earnings winner, and I always like earnings winners that successfully test the gap up lows, and SIG came close enough. And then, JSO, the final high quality long signal, bullish engulfing candle bar here. Print with a pocket pivot point signal above average volume, nice surge in green BOP to a higher green BOP level. Want to get long JSO, limit order 650, the high of the day, the close. First cut loss level, you can go and use 620, but I'm still just going to use the original stops from the entry here. So I went long JSO here, it's working out, get an ad signal here. The ad signal is actually better than the long signal, so I'll use the same two stops, 611 and 604. So move below 611, out half, and move below 604, I'll be out the rest. JSO is an ad signal. It was only my price volume BOP scan, technically 1%. I guess you could call it CanSlim, but I'm going to, since it was just in my price volume BOP scan, it's sub 10. Earnings and sales growth in the most recent quarter is strong. I don't have my MarketSmith or investors.com up to show, but it's really strong in the most recent quarter, so it's not technically a CanSlim stock just yet. So I'm just treating it from my price volume BOP surge scan. So it's only going to be a 0.5% ad signal. And then I also have some other speculative trade ideas. UQM, if you're a platinum member, go over the limits and stops there. But I'll go ahead and show everybody the chart here. You can see the BOP improvement, the recent volume following the gap up. Nice bullish bar. First cut loss level, obviously. The gap up low, second one. I don't know, probably the 50-day moving average. And then XOMA, very strong price move. It's now been going sideways for 2 days with max green BOP, some tight bullish intraday reversals showing that it doesn't want to pull back at all. Want to get long Zoma, cut loss here, and then a gap fill maybe for the final cut loss. And then ITCI, once again, get long here. It's a little extended, but overall my loss isn't that much. This will be the first cut loss level. Gap fill will be the second one. But it's that max green BOP that really interests me. And then same with AMMA. This is the swing trade. All that green BOP the past 20 days is what interests me there. All right, everyone. Great luck today. Aloha.